First Lite is fully windproof. You guys spoke and First Lite listened, and now the Solitude and Sanctuary sets are fully windproof. Let's dive into some of the features, benefits of the new inline change to this system, and then also talk about why it took so long to get there, kind of the development process that First Lite took, and then where I find myself wearing both the Solitude and Sanctuary sets. So let's get into it. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, we've been asking for this for years, or people have been talking about windproof for years. Why did it take so long for First Lite to come out with a windproof membrane to put inside their Solitude set? And then how is this different for the Sanctuary that was already windproof? Well, first off, why did it take so long? In true First Lite fashion, they wanted to make sure that what they were putting out there was the absolute best. Now, normally, other competitors, they might take just a windproof membrane and slap it in between some brushy, quiet fabric. But guess what? That windproof membrane that they're using is still really loud. And so it's going to be crinkly, it's going to make some noise, and First Lite didn't want to do that. First Lite took 3.5 years working with their partners to develop the absolute best windproof blocking membrane that not only was incredibly high on the spectrum at blocking wind, but was also completely silent. And so when you pick up this piece and you move it around compared to the piece without the windproof membrane in it, you can't even tell the difference. And obviously that's a big deal for anybody out there that's tried to draw a bow on a cold November morning on a big old whitetail. You know that any noise is bad. By adding this membrane and allowing it to remain completely silent, that's a huge deal. Also sandwiched in between those layers is First Lite's proprietary 37.5 technology, which makes sure that garment is still breathable and is still moving moisture away from your body. But it also, and very few people talk about this, I don't know why, it also helps control your scent. It's trapping your scent in there, and then every time you wash it, it's releasing all that scent that's been trapped. So 37.5 is also part of the garment that is helping you remain scent free while you're hunting, which is obviously really important. Now, a lot of people ask me, well, what temperature range do you wear this stuff in? I'll wear it anywhere from 50 degrees below for my Solitude set. So for me personally, I love having the Solitude set on and varying the base layers underneath of it based on the temperature outside. So if it's 45 degrees, I might just have a 250 weight top, some mid-weight bottoms on, and then the bibs in the jacket. As it gets lower, I'm going to continue adding things like the Obsidian hoodie and continue adding layers to where I need to be for comfort levels. And I'm going to do a whole nother video that's a deep dive on my layering process, but it's really important to know what layers you want to wear, because that helps when you're packing for an out-of-state hunt. You don't need to bring 300 things. You have pieces that are versatile and have multiple uses depending on whatever the environment's thrown at you. You're able to be prepared. And that's where the kit link and the big deep vented legs come in handy. Obviously, if it's cold, I'm hunkered down in my kit link. I also like being able to use my kit link to keep my phone protected, keep my phone warm when it's obviously not in my hands being tinkered with. But I'm a bow hunter. I like to have thin gloves on, and by keeping that kit link there, I can keep my hands warm. I can use those thin gloves, and then if it's warmer out, I can have the zipper fully down. I can be venting air out, and I can have those leg vents open as well to be using for warmer weather. So it just makes this piece incredibly versatile for pretty much any temperature range from 0 to 50. And on top of that, with the DWR finish that this garment has, I'm able to know that if a rainstorm comes or if it starts snowing, I don't have to worry about throwing on my rain gear. Obviously, if I'm out in like a full-on soaking rain event, I'm going to want rain gear. But with that DWR finish, if it's raining a little or if it's misting or whatever, I know that garment's going to be fine. So that's a really nice, comforting thing to know as well. Some other questions that I get all the time is like, well, what size do I order? These garments all run true to size. Just order the size that you would normally wear. Check the sizing chart on firstlite.com. It'll show you everything you need to know for what size to get, but they're all made so that they work interchangeably with all the layers underneath, and obviously for some of those other garments where you might layer over top of them, they're all made to work together. So just check that sizing chart and order true to size. You really don't have to play with it like you do with some other brands out there to where you have to get like different sizes to accommodate for layering. Some other features that are worth noting on both the Solitude and the Sanctuary set, the removable 3D turret hood, big deal. A lot of people are like, oh, it's just a hood. No, it's a turret style hood, so you're not going to be turning and looking into where the ear hole is. It's cut to be a turret so that you're still able to have full vision but still get a little bit of protection on your head. It's also fully removable if you don't want to wear a hood, which is fine if that's what you want to do. Okay, cool. Take the hood off. The jackets and vests all have a tree stand harness pass through. For me, as a saddle hunter, not a big deal, but a lot of people out there obviously hunt from tree stands, and so this is a nice way to just have the harness pull through and not have to be on the outside of the jacket. Also, the insulated hand pockets that have that seal-tight gasket around them are phenomenal. I love how nice and deep they are. You can put stuff in there and not have to worry about them falling out, and that hand gasket really seals up behind your hands and arms to make sure that you're not having hot air or you're not having your warm air vent out into cooler air or having cooler air get in while your hands are in there. Also, obviously, First Lite is just the king of the shooter's cut, but that nice tapered cut down your arm really helps for when you're drawing a bow. It helps keep your arms nice and compact. You don't have a bunch of extra material or bulk hanging off there. Not only to slap the string, but just get in your way while you're out there hunting. The two-way front zipper is really nice because you can be fully zipped up, but if you're getting some compaction down below, you can zip that up on the lower side and be good to go. And the gear loops that are hanging off the chest I find to be very helpful. I'm able to clip anything to it that I need. Rangefinder, maybe a grunt tube, anything you find a use for needing to clip up to your body to ensure that you don't drop. Those little gear loops are very helpful. And also having that draw cord on the bottom really helps custom fit it perfectly for your body, so it really does fit you like a glove and function as highly as possible. All right, so there you have it. With all those features, it's easy to see why the Solitude set is my go-to system from November all the way through February, unless it's like blisteringly cold for me and the way that my body runs and the temperature here in the DC suburbs. The Solitude really works for me. Does that mean that I wouldn't recommend the Sanctuary? No, I'm not saying that. The Sanctuary definitely has its place. It definitely comes out of my closet depending on where I'm hunting or what the temperature is going to be. And look, if I was like my buddies that live in Minnesota, yes, I'm going to be wearing the Sanctuary probably as much as I personally wear the Solitude. But for me personally, in my neck of the woods, the Solitude is my go-to piece between the jacket and the vest, from including the vest mid-October all the way into February, sometimes March. So check it out today. If you haven't, head over to firstlite.com. If you have any questions, leave them below. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.